I haven't been on YouTube for about a few days. Just taking care of things and just dealing with things outside of working on content on YouTube and just life and everything. But I just wanted to share something briefly that I encountered in a store. And I was talking to this lady, stranger in the store, customer, and I was bringing up about there's homelessness in the United States, and how there's people living on the street. So one thing happened after another with the conversation, and I was saying, well, a lot of people are going through. It doesn't matter what color you are, and the one thing led to another. She was saying, oh, there's programs for that. He can go get help. I'm sure he can. He can go get help, if he wants help, he can go get it. And, I was talking to a lady, and she was saying how, all these immigrants are coming here, and, they're taking our resources and everything. And then she started talking about Donald Trump, and she's entitled to, like Donald Trump and vote for Donald Trump. And this is a free democracy, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. It really is. But there's another thing when you start talking about immigrants and saying how, they're coming here and they're getting Social Security, and they're getting benefits and everything, and they're taking our country from us. What country are you? Whose country are you talking about? The country doesn't just belong to you. The Statue of Liberty talks about give me your tired. But people who are longing for freedom and everything, and immigrants do contribute to the economy, local economy, and they help with a lot of jobs, and they fill a lot of jobs where a lot of people won't take those jobs. So she started going on and on about how black, brown people saying immigrants are saying I'm discriminated against because I'm brown. So okay, you're talking about me to my face too. Just like like having a slap in the face. So I basically said, look, we're all struggling, we're all going through. Nobody's better than nobody, and and she was saying, just looking down on immigrants, and she shouldn't do that because immigrants help the country. A lot of jobs they take, as I was saying, that people won't take, and saying like they're reaping the benefits and everything, and that's not true. That's not true. And she's saying how they're immigrants. Well, you're an immigrant too. And this is not about black or white or saying someone's better than nobody, because this is probably the best democracy and country to live in. But just to be one-sided and saying the immigrants are doing this, they're taking the jobs, they're taking these benefits that I can't get. And, one thing led to another with the conversation, So I was just trying to be fair with her and not be rude. And I could have basically cut her off. But I was saying, trying to listen to her. But yeah, when you think you're entitled and the immigrants are taking all the resources and jobs, well, you're an immigrant to yourself. You're an immigrant, you're an immigrant from your immigrants from your ancestors from the 1400s that came to the United States. And I, as I'm saying, I'm not trying to make this about black or white or saying I'm better, but you have some people that think they're entitled and they're better than all the other races, all the black people and all the immigrants and everything, and saying how black people getting all those resources. There's more white people in the United States than black people. And there's more poor white people in the United States than black people who are on programs like Family First and welfare and Section 8. So one thing led to another, and I'm not trying to put any race down because I believe in getting along with everybody. I believe in that. So for her to try to put immigrants down and saying brown people and saying Trump is trying to make the country better. What is he doing? He's giving tax breaks to the rich. He's not doing nothing for people who are struggling and going through. He's taking programs away and taking jobs away from people. He's not doing anything. So she went on, and I listened, and I still try to be nice and respect her and respect the employee in the store. And they're talking about, there's a lot of people going through and struggling, whether you're black or white, whether you're poor, black or white, whether you're a black person on drugs and a white person on drugs. Nobody's better than nobody. And she's free to be a Republican and vote for Trump. But Trump's not thinking about the little people and the people who are struggling and going through. They're not thinking about people who are going through and struggling. It's like she's voted against her best interests, but it is a free democracy, and it is her right and her duty to vote for Trump, Donald Trump, because he is the president of the United States. So it just shows you how still the country is so divided. And there are people that still have racist views to this day and saying, stereotyping black people or brown people, or saying Mexican people, immigrant people, they're reaping all the benefits. And that's not true, because poor whites are reaping those same benefits that immigrants are, applying for those benefits, or coming here for a better life and wanting a better life, and they get stereotyped and say they're criminals, and that's not true. Or they're doing this and they're doing that. And there's a lot of stereotyping about immigrants and black people, and as she said, brown people, So, I could have stopped her in her tracks earlier, but I listened to her and I gave my opinion. And I told her, it's a lot of people are going through and struggling. I don't care who you are or what color you are, you're going through. I basically saying there's a lot of poor whites that are going through, and there's a lot of good white people out there who are not racist and who are not one-sided for a party, because in the end, whether you're black or white, whether you're Mexican, whether you're an immigrant, we all need to stick together and want a good democracy and not have things taken away from poor people and poor people struggling and everyday people who work. A lot of people work hard, like I work hard, but I'm still hanging in there and working hard and thankful for a job. But I'm not, putting any race down and saying I'm better. And there's a lot of problems because of you people here, when you're the problem yourself. You're a racist with the way you think. But I was still nice to her, still kind to her, but I didn't agree with what she was saying. And some people will basically just stop you in your tracks, or blow for blow, give you word for word. I didn't do that because I wasn't wasting my energy. So I knew what I was dealing with. I just was letting her know, look, that you guys are not the only, white people are not the only one going through and angry about stuff. And a lot of Americans are struggling and disappointed with the way things are going in the United States. But don't be one-sided and saying the country is this way because of one group of people, when we're all people and we're all responsible for doing the right thing for the country and for the people, for everyone. And I usually don't talk about things like this, but I usually talk about positivity and faith and the power of thought, and I will do that. And my intention is not to offend anyone who is another color or black or white or Mexican. I'm for the country as a whole and coming together as a unity and not being stereotyping other races and not being a racist. I'm for everybody, because there's a lot of good white people out there, a lot of good black people out there. There's good immigrants out there, all people in all races, all colors. And that's what I wanted to share. And I usually don't share a message like this, but it shows you how some people are still, and it's probably a small selected group of people who still think that they're entitled and they're better than all other races, and that, the benefits are being taken away from them. And that's not true. Like, it's just their country, and it's not just their country. It belongs to everybody. The United States of America belongs to everybody, even immigrants. And that's all I want to say. And I hope you like this message I share. And as I said, it's not intended to offend anyone, just to talk about what I experienced during my outing and going around and taking care of things. But yeah, I'll talk about other things and more about positive things, as I usually do, because that's really my message, and faith-filled things in the Bible, and anything that's good and positive and faith-filled, and the power of thought. And I hope everybody's okay. Pray that everybody's okay. I pray your strength in the Lord for you and your family, and blessings for your life, and success for everybody, for all Americans. Not just one selected group of people. We're all human, and God loves everybody. And that's all I want to say. Blessings.